while we're waiting on the couple, we hope to do make it. If you'll go to your settings and put the unit you're attached to, so we can track that and recognize the leading troop or a unit rather. That would help us. Just to show you, we've got do have plans for tonight's meetings. And the recording is started if you didn't hear. Luis is trying to help John get his camera running. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and
all right, we couldn't
get
figure it
started
out.
here.
We got to take more settings, so
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, it needs to be practiced off while we're offline. Off of a meeting.
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
about that.
That's all right.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started then. Normally, we'll ask you to mute your microphone so that it's not all crazy. But let's do the pledge, the scout oath, and the law. You'll please scout salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout oath. Anyone want to lead that?
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and the country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, be careful with the fire, be considered in outdoors, and be conservative minded. 2.
Thank you, John. Get rid of that and stop the share. Let's go ahead and look at our agenda for tonight. The Council Health, I don't see Dr. Margot. Am I missing him? I don't think he's in yet. Luis, do you want to jump in for him and give us an idea about the diseases that we're watching the council's health,
I don't have anything about diseases. I'm probably the wrong person to ask, but I did meet today with a company. We reviewed our AEDs out at camp, which are all expired since 2019, which do us no good. So they're going to quote us a price. I actually just got the email to maintain monthly our AEDs. So we can be in accordance with NCAP standards for one, and to protect all our youth and adults that are out there. So it was an interesting conversation to see them all expired, but they were all expired. So
as far as loaners, we had loaners out there at camp that hopefully those weren't expired when they loaned to us.
I'm not certain. These were 3 different medical ones or on the goes. Like they had a bag you can take with you, but they're all expired. So I don't think they do us any good being expired. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. The next thing up then is
oh yes, Ada. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're muted, Ada.
Yeah. So I had my question is, how can we tell when they're expired and going bad? Because what we have done with those AEDs is Travis would order new batteries for them. But I'm not sure if that actually constitutes what we're supposed to do.
I'm not certain. The gentleman that came out opened them up. They had dates on them. They have actual dates, expiration dates on them. Two of them, he said, the blinking light wasn't going. The one in the med lodge was blinking very slow. So he says, you know, stuff like that, when it's not working properly, it's not going to work. So I don't know if it's by date or it's just a battery, because they have expiration actual date on them.
Yeah, I've seen those, and that's why Travis would go check them, and then he would order the batteries, because the batteries themselves are pretty expensive, but the whole unit too is extremely expensive.
Yeah, so this is just to let you know, the company Cintas. You guys have heard of Cintas? They do a monthly. They come out monthly and inspect them for us. If we utilize any of the pads or any of the, you know, that they restock them, that's part of the fee that we pay monthly. And it's all tracked if it's used or not, on a site. So in case anything ever comes back to us, you know, we have a situation where, like, look, it's been monitored, it's up to date, it's up to code, it's up to standards. So we don't, you know, it's not on us in regards to checking it all the time. They come out every month and they do that for us. So I'm taking a look at the price, see if it fits in our budget. That's the biggest thing. And then I looked at potentially, if it goes, one in the dining hall, which would be more stationary in the box, you know, type deal. One in the office, one at the pool, and then two grab and goes. One that able to take down to the docks, and then one for the med lodge. So 5 total. I think the cost is about $100 a month per, but I think the investment is definitely worth
Oh
the
yeah,
safety of our youth, adults, and anybody using our facility. So
yes, I like that.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's, as we all know, it's a good idea to do a a safety moment each time we have a meeting, and pertinent to what's going on, what your unit is going to be doing. Of course, safety moments are available underneath on the scouting.org website under scouting safety moments. That's the page you see here. And we're going to run this one just to give you an idea. This is the annual health and medical record and safety. So let's go ahead and listen to this conversation here. Hopefully that's right. Can you hear it? No? You can't hear the audio?
no.
Okay. All right. Let me stop it and try it again. Where's the audio? Share sound. They moved the location of those on this screen. All right. Now we'll try it. You hear it now?
Whether it's Cub Scout Day Camp and Derby Days, or Boy Scouting and venturing camping trips, and high adventure excursions, having fun is very important to everyone in Scouting, and so is their safety and well-being. Completing the annual health and medical record is the first step in making sure you have a great Scouting experience. The BSA Annual Health and Medical Record, often known as the medical form or the annual physical, is designed to help ensure that all participants in the Scouting program are healthy enough for the adventure of Scouting. It is not intended to limit participation, but to inform and protect. One thing parents and leaders normally want to know is why the BSA requires a release and a health history of all participants in Scouting events. There are actually 3 key reasons. First, completing a health history promotes health awareness and provides critical information needed to treat someone in the event of an illness or injury. It also provides consent for treatment in the event a participant needs emergency care while traveling away from a parent or guardian. Second, poor health and lack of awareness of risk factors have led to disabling injuries, illnesses, and even fatalities. And third, the annual health and medical record also serves as the tool that enables councils to operate day and resident camps and adhere to BSA and state requirements. Parts A and B should be completed for all participants and Scouting leaders. Part C should be completed by a licensed healthcare provider before the participant attends any scouting event that is longer than 72 hours, such as a summer camp, trek, or multi-day excursion. The optional High Adventure Risk Advisory, formerly known as Part D, needs to be shared with the examining medical provider during the pre-participation examination to explain known health risks for each of BSA's 4 high-adventure bases. Additionally, your council may develop a risk advisory specific to your council camp or other properties or events. To assure privacy, the form should be maintained by a designated leader, carefully stored and used only as needed to provide for planning and rendering care. Medical forms should not be scanned, stored, or sent electronically except as specifically directed for a BSA national event such as the National Jamboree. To keep up with possible changes in health status, the form needs to be updated annually or when a participant's health information changes. Find more tips and resources on AHMRs and other safety moments on the Scouting Safely website at scouting.org.
Okay, a couple of things that we need to really discuss about this is one, the one thing that was brought up at the territories meeting this weekend is regarding the form itself. Photography is limited. A youth needs to have given us approval, that the guardians also, to use a photograph of a scout. Now, the reason we're talking about that here is that this portion right here is the release for photography and using the information of a scout on the medical form. This here's a release agreement. So it is here. However, to be active and correct, it was brought to my attention by NCAP, is that the participant, well, youth or whatever, needs to sign on this line here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm circling it. And then the parent or guardian, if the youth is under the age of 18. So that the NCAP folks are looking for a signature here by the youth if it's under 18, and a parent's signature here if it's under 18. And so that particular item is something we need to be very aware of in the units. And also the discussion here of the records should not be shared, scanned, stored, or sent electronically. That's also a critical issue. FERPA covers this, but they're not to be stored, scanned, or made electronically. So that's just what one of the new things we found out this weekend, and also last summer camp was about the signatures of the youth on the form. So that's important, and I'll give an opportunity for any questions or any other comments about that.
So am I mistaken that Scout Book actually allows you to scan those documents into the profiles? Because I think I saw that and I was going to try that. Is that
We can
something they're
enter the
going to take
dates.
on?
I don't think that they are. I don't have access to Scout Book, so I don't know if they've revised it recently or not. I can't help you there.
Okay.
I'll get some clarification on that. I'll ask to see if that shouldn't be the case, just because
No.
there's HIPAA violations and everything that goes along with it, that could be easily compromised, but you never know.
Right.
I sat in on, well, so did Oscar, on the short-term camp leader training 2 weekends ago. And one thing they mentioned is that we don't have to collect medical forms. So I don't know if anybody had ever heard of that thing.
I had heard of that.
Adult leader should be or can be responsible for them the entire time the scouts at camp. We don't have to collect them. Now that can be a decision to collect them. We can decide to collect them, but I didn't even know that was an option.
How do you feel about that as a medical person?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's tough not knowing anything,
That's right.
So that's and again, we're not supposed to have it electronically, so it would kind of leave us in a lurch. So I just didn't know that was even a thing, you know,
I
that.
had heard about
you know,
that, Shuri. I think my biggest concern with that is little Jimmy or Jane is down at
Exactly.
nature. Leader is down by the docks. They rush to
Yep.
Med Lodge. Nothing's there. That's,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. So when we've got packs out there, you know, that's typically a family or a, you know, when they're packed, when it's a cub event,
yeah.
I probably wouldn't, you know, feel so helpless if I didn't have them, you know, with me if it was a pack or a cub activity, just because again, it's, you know, the activities are more you know, the whole pack is doing it together and they've got the adults, but definitely with the troop or even with an OA, you know, you don't you know, you don't know. So you need to be able to see something.
And then another thing that I've noticed is I was actually at camp today, and there's leftover medical forms filled out in
I
drawers
was
and
gonna
stuff.
mention that to you. We need some sort of a, I guess
Wow.
a camp closeout protocol when we have our weekends.
What we used to do in Austin, we collect them and shred them. People are like, why you?
Exactly.
I can't hold on to that stuff. It's gotta
I
get
hear
shredded.
you.
Mhm.
Yes,
So
and that's what I tell folks. You know, like we can't be holding on to them. And then we had thought about maybe having a shredder out there, and it's like, well, no, because anything could get put in it. I think it needs to be more of like, you know, this is we leave behind, or there's a box or something that you know is there, and that, you know, at some point, you know, you're responsible for getting them
yeah.
back to, you know, the shredder
Yep.
or something like that. Just
We'll,
something.
we'll figure something out there. But
Mhm.
Some
I
of
have
those are
another
really
point.
old. Some of those are really old too, Luis. Really old.
yep.
Yeah, there was kind of like a big stack in the office there. I'd seen those.
I have another point. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
If what happens if the person that is holding the forms is a person injured or disabled? We're not even going to be able to get the form to transport them to get consent. That's my
agree.
point.
Right.
I
So-
agree.
Yeah, I think, you know, as
That's amazing.
thanks for sharing that, Trey. I 100%. We need to have them in the Med Lodge for that reason. That reason, amongst many other. So
Okay. So we're here at this point now. We normally do, if we have enough folks, we do a breakout room. I don't think it's necessary. Luis, do you mind if we talk about the conference this weekend?
yeah, okay. What do you want to talk about?
What was your takeaway from it?
I think my takeaway is, you know, as a national organization and a territory, I think we're leading the way in a lot of metrics, territory-wise, across the country, as a whole. Us, Corpus, San Antonio, the Louisiana councils, Midland, Austin, and they shared a lot of great information. You know, when you look at it and as a whole, because we heard everything from school leadership and what they're looking for in regards to the recruitment process and scouting within their schools, and we heard from a police officer, we heard from leaders of, you know, why they're doing what they're doing. It kind of re-energizes you as a professional, as a volunteer, right? I know that, you know, we had several pictures, and the group that was traveling with Dr. Margot and stuff, they were just, I'm pretty sure the whole way home they were talking about ideas, because the next day Andrew sent me a whole list of things like, hey, check this out, and I'm like, okay, got it. You know, we talked about youth protection, which is one of the biggest things. We're coming out of the bankruptcy, right, with a lot of you know, perception. People are thinking, oh, the BSA and what goes on there. Anybody want to take a guess at how many youth protection cases we had in 2023?
At the council or nationally?
Nationally. Take a
I
guess.
don't know. 500? 0?
I'll buy you an ice cream if you get it right.
0?
No?
Oh. 5?
Anybody? Nobody?
I'm not gonna, I know.
Mike knows. Okay, sure. You've answered. Anybody else out there? I see some names, John and
20.
Austin. 20.
20.
Okay. Okay.
120.
120. Okay.
19.
19.
19.
All right. Anybody else before? I'll give it to, who said 10? Somebody said 10.
I think I did.
Okay. It was 8 nationally.
Oh. Okay.
So when
Very
people
good.
Wow.
when people think about the Boy
Wow.
Scouts, they're like, oh, they just got out of bankruptcy because of the sexual harassment cases. And that we as an organization with the almost million youth and the amount of adult volunteers we had 8 cases of youth protection, and I'm going to tell you 6 of those were youth on youth. There was only one of them was a groomer where he groomed the youth, and and they took care of that. So while 8 is, hey, it's a great number, we'd love it to be at 0. But that perception when people, oh, I'm with the Boy Scouts, oh, you're with that organization, we're in one of the safest organizations these days when you look at the big picture. So very excited to be about that. And then we talked about what I was talking about, fiscal management, the finances as a national organization, the assets and where they stand and what their plan is. We talked about I think the biggest one for me, Mike, was the who was it? Was it Wendy Curtin when she did that panel? That for me, that was it, along with the diversity piece of it, from Augie out of Corpus, talking about the diversity in scouting and trying to look more like what your council looks like. And we're very fortunate in our area because we're 98% Hispanics. So that's not hard for us to do, right? But it's not just about our race. It's also about the diversity in females in our program, in the males, and it's just a whole mix of just diversity things. So very excited to have gone to this conference, to spend some time with great volunteers. They fed us a nice big prime rib steak the first night. I don't think any of us slept because we were so full. But it was definitely great to be a part of that, and bring back some stuff. I know, like I said, Andrew, other folks had so many ideas coming out of that conference from other councils. So
did anything come up about the one case in San Antonio that got reversed or appealed?
I haven't heard about that, sir. I haven't heard about that.
That was a week ago, 10 days ago. A scoutmaster won a case against for his the indiscretion.
Yeah, I did hear about the one but that's all they said was that there was one scout that had returned to one adult leader who had returned to membership after this proof of the accusation. But that was all they said about it.
I'll probably get more info in the scout executive briefing that I have, Oscar. I probably can't share some of it, but I'll probably get briefed on it.
There were several speakers there from National. One of them was Glenn Pounder, who is our youth protection lead at National, and he come to us from United Kingdom or Austria or somewhere. He has a interesting accent, and is a very soft-spoken person, but he is working hard. He wants it to be. They're working on revisions in the youth protection training, making it simpler, but importantly effective. Talking about youth as well, and he's only been there 6 months, so he's in the ground floor, but we'll be hearing from him quite soon, I'm sure. Another one that spoke to us was a gentleman named where is his name? He's the
Barry Bells.
national.
Was it Barry Bells on leadership?
Brad Tilden, the national chair.
Okay.
And he came to us by Zoom and spoke to us about his views, and he's a tech guy, and so there's going to be some leaning toward more technology opportunity for the youth, and realizing what they want to use. And so to make it heavier. So that's also something that looks like it's going to come down in the pike. And he's hinting about the fact that the next annual meeting will be an interesting meeting. And that's pretty much all he said. So I'll let that go at that. But the people that were there, top notch, and it was a wonderful meeting, well received. The term national service territory has been changed to something more effective. They feel it's going to be a council service territory now. It's servicing the councils now instead of nationally. So great people there, learned a lot, and more to come on that. Luis, anything else? Oh, we got.
No, just want to thank the folks that went. The ones that were having the party have stopped at Buc-ee's and at Black's on the way back. And I mean, geez. I'm with my whole family driving back and they're taking a picture at Black's barbecue. I'm like, man, I have McDonald's.
Yeah, we had a great fellowship, and it's interesting learning more about each of us. It was a fun trip. Yeah. And so let's see here if there's anything else.
Any additional ideas on recruitment or trying to get more involved with the Cub Scout stuff, since that seems to be a big topic?
Sorry, you broke out there, Oscar.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
Recruitment, Cub Scouts, any talk on that?
Yeah, so actually, I was talking to some colleagues from mine. Obviously, I worked there, so I got to see a lot of my former colleagues. And one of the things that they shared with me, let me pull it up real quick. Cub Scout. All right, so I think this is it. No, not that. Hold on real quick. Trying to find it.
One thing we learned while Luis is looking for that is the Cub Scout program is being updated. It's not being renewed or anything. It's being updated, and that's going to be interesting. It will phase in completely by June the 1st. One of the big things about it is the Bobcat is going to be a unique training for each level. It'll be a simplified program, and that Weeblos is just going to be 4th grade. The Arrow of Light will be the name of the program for the 5th grade as it prepares them for moving into Boy Scouts.
Yep. So if you're in a Cub
Yes,
Scout
yes.
pack, don't
I
buy
thought
it.
you were going to say we had to take 5th graders. I was going to be like, oh my gosh, wait.
No. Yeah, so if you're in a Cub Scout pack, don't buy any Cub Scout books right now. They're getting reprinted with all the new stuff. I think the change is good. It allows for smoother transitions in the different ranks. So there was some questions in regards to scouts joining 5th grade and earning the Arrow of Light as compared to going through the whole program. There's still those questions, but those are good answered. There's webinars that come out on the National Scouting Facebook page. If you have a chance, we'll try to share them on our council page as well, so you can take a look at them, see the changes that are coming, maybe have some questions. I have a resource that was actually at the national training for this, who's a subject matter expert, and I'm going to ask her to zoom in for us at the Rio Grande Council, so she can talk to our Cub Scout packs about it. But one of the cool things, Oscar, about recruitment, obviously, recruitment is one of our biggest things, right? Last year we hit 4.7% or 4.17% in membership growth, having no full-time executive. We've already got new units cooking. We've got a lot of youth added to the recharter process, which is good. So I think we're going to start the year in a better spot to be able to not only hit where we ended the year, but continue to grow, which is a good thing. One of the things that I saw in the Cub Scout, or just in the Cub Scout recruiting alone, was leveraging education in the Cub Scout recruiting. So one of the things that was told to me by the director of field service in Austin is like, yeah, dude, when we go talk to principals and superintendents, we talk about how the Cub Scout program aligns with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, which is the TEKS, which is what school districts are very. So he's like, here's the website. So let me share it real quick. I think I have access. Yeah, so this is, so you can see, right? So this is for, hold on real quick. So this is for Lion, right? So how does it line up? Gizmos and gadgets. Here's the TEAC K112.11.5, matter and energy, knows that objects have properties and patterns. So this is aligning our rank advancements with the TEACs that teachers are educating in schools. What principal, what educator is not going to love this when we're able to go, sorry, my dogs are on the bed, and visit with them to say, hey, we want to recruit with Cub Scouts. Well, how does Cub Scouts align with our education system? And well, here it is in black and white. So someone took the time to do all this, and it's across the board. First grade, it has everything here. I don't know if it goes into Scouts BSA yet. I think it's more for here's middle and high school. As far as the merit badges, it doesn't align it, the way it does, but it talks about so in high school, it's the CCMR, right? College, career, and military readiness. And this talks about the STEM, the business professions. I mean, this is exactly what high schools are also doing, how they're breaking up their program. So Oscar, in a nutshell, this is a major tool for recruitment. That's one thing. Another thing is that I've already started reaching out to superintendents to try to get my foot in the door where we have a lot of units. So I've reached, we have a meeting, I think set for next Tuesday with the superintendent in Brownsville, who was a former, his sons were Eagle Scouts. He was the former membership chair in Austin, very supportive. He said, come on, we want to get you here. Talked to McAllen. He was a scout growing up as well, Dr. Rene Gutierrez. I've talked to Dr. Pettis in Mission. I reached out to Gonzalo Salazar, who was on my previous board of directors for RGV Lead. So in my past in organization, I had those relationships with superintendents. Ms. Capistran in Point Isabel, she was my 5th grade teacher. So she knows I was in scouting. So, very, very excited to have those relationships. Now, the thing is, I'm going to set a training so we can train you all as volunteers to lead those discussions, to lead not with the superintendents or principals, but to do the recruitments and the most effective way. I'm going to share different ideas, different what's worked over the course of my career, what's worked amongst you all as volunteers, and we're going to come up with a plan. The plan may not be the same for Ada as it is for Cherie down the road, Highway 100. 20 miles down the road, it may not be the same. But we want to make sure that we get you the tools. I've made a financial ask to a financial institution of $5,000 today, and it's looking very promising that they're going to sponsor all our flyers with their logo on there, yard signs, updated yard signs, give them the opportunity to be able to speak in front of the principal. So we're going to purchase some new flyers. I know we have a lot of flyers that have been there, and I'd love to use those, and we're going to continue to use them, but I want to get some fresh looking flyers into our council. So if that financial ask goes well, we're able to purchase new flyers, the new yard signs, not the little plastic ones, more that you can use year after year. Put a piece of white, paper over it with tape, put this thing, take that off, and use it again next year. So we're not having to duplicate expenses in that regard. So very excited about that. So Oscar, I'm excited about membership. Membership makes the program grow financially, for membership wise, for event wise. So hopefully I answered your question.
Yes, and then what they say about girl troops or girls in scouting.
So I want to take the moment real quick to say happy anniversary to all our Scouts BSA girl troops. 5 years. 5 years. I just posted on our council Facebook page. So happy anniversary, 5 years in scouting. We have a lot of synergy within our girl troops here in the Valley. What specifically are you asking about, Oscar? I'm not certain, I guess, with that question. As far as recruitment?
Has the excitement waned in the 5 years? Are we still growing with that area? Is there opportunity still there?
We're still growing. You'll find that recruitment at the middle school and high school level is very hard. I can't walk in with my uniform. Even they're even requesting us not to do that in elementary school, for other reasons. So I think the best way, if we want to continue to expand our biggest thing is we grow our packs that feed our troops. That's going to be the natural, right? The natural succession into growing your troop. It's always hard to recruit the older kids. It's possible. You can do that by buddy cards, invite them to an event. We can have a turnkey 1 day, half day, come enjoy the canoes, the pool, the shotgun, whatever, so they can see the outdoors and then hook them that way. I don't know. Maybe we can do something like that. They're still growing, Oscar. We're still getting scouts. We're still getting, I'm seeing the applications come in. I just had my high school baseball coach reach out the other day, said, "Hey, Luis." And I said, "Hey, what's up, coach? You're the scout executive for the Boy Scouts?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I just joined. My son's 12." And he was very excited. Third meeting, what do I need to do? So we're getting them. We just need to, have a better approach on how we do that. Right now, it's just word of mouth. We can print up little buddy cards. They're very inexpensive, and you can pass those out. Come meet us at the troop meeting. I don't know if anybody else has any other ideas, but that's when we have that training for recruitment. That's something that we will discuss as a council. It's not going to be like, I'm going to say, "Hey guys, this is the way we're going to do it." No, let's work together as a team and figure out what's the best practices.
I wanted to share that on Monday. I was allowed to go into a middle school, Fossum Middle School in McAllen. And I took 4 scouts with me, 3 females, 1 male, because they're homeschooled. But I thought it went really well. The principal was really good at working. I got to see every student in the school. They did it during their PE time. So I did 6th, 7th, and 8th. I passed out little cards for 73, 76, 84, and 68.
Okay.
And I think 68 told me they had 2 new kids on Monday come and check. And the principal has also, it's going to put like in the counselors section, she's provided support for putting something on scouting. And she's also, they have a meeting next week. So she's going to talk to the rest of the middle schools in McAllen.
Okay.
And we should be having the same kind of process that we did with Fossum, and we should be able to go into the rest of the middle schools. What was really engaging for the kids was having a video, like a small PowerPoint, like a video, right, of what, with pictures, kind of illustrating what the troop has been doing throughout. So,
but it was tough.
FYI.
It was tough though, right? Because you did how many PE classes, and then you only had those 2. You had 3, and you had 2 show up. That's why
Well, 2 show up on Monday, because remember, not everybody meets on Mondays.
Yes, I did learn.
Some people meet on Sunday. So for 1065, we have had several kids already girls call in from Fossum. I don't know if 76 had any or because 76 meets today, I believe. But it was a whole school, and you're right. I mean, you might, if you get, I don't know, maybe 10, I think you're doing really well.
You've had better success than I have in my whole career. I'll tell you that much, recruiting older scouts. So.
I got a question. Were you in your uniform? Because he said he couldn't wear uniforms in some of the school. Did you wear uniforms?
Yes, we were in our uniform. I have a picture and I have the video. And
very good.
My daughter has worn. They're playing some crazy music here, but my daughter has worn my kids have worn their scout uniform on Scout Day to school, no problems.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that they say, you're getting into middle school, you're wearing a uniform, they're like, "Oh, why are you wearing that uniform?" And then people are like, "I don't want to wear that uniform. It's not cool to be." That's the whole reason, John, that they say it's best to maybe wear like a polo shirt with the fleur-de-lis, one of the fishing shirts. That's one of the reasons. Another reason especially in the Cub Scouts, I remember working in East Austin. I would show up in my uniform and people would look at me like, "Oh, look, it's the Border Patrol or it's a sheriff." you know, the uniform can be scary, you know, for folks that, you know, are not familiar with it. So we get that a lot. So that's why they also say, hey, it's, you know, suggested. Doesn't mean you have to do it, but it's suggested. So, Ada.
So, yeah, I'll tell you where we've had a lot of luck, and I'll tell you where we fail because we're not prepared on our end. We do public stuff like the rodeo's coming out, and we'll do a rodeo, and we'll have something, and we always have a booth where we do fun stuff, some kind of fun activity, and we'll have parents and kids wanting to sign up right then and there. But I just don't have anybody ever ready to just do the recruitment part like right then and there. I've just been approached by the baseball coach on March 19th. I'm gonna need your help. March 19th, Tuesday, they want to do a veterans over the baseball field, and they want to do a big garrison flag. And they asked me that all they want is Boy Scouts in uniform to do it because they're going to do a salute to veterans. I can get like what I have. I mean, we used to be like 78, 80 Cubs and another 40, 50 troop, you know, just in Los Fresnos. I don't have those numbers anymore, but I'm going to reach out, you know, to Cherie, Brownsville, and everything because I want it to look really good. It's not going to be very long, but I think it's going to be what kind of like what we need to get there. And yes, so like in July, and I think Cherie, I heard it went really well for her Christmas thing. I think she also did something like that. Where you just put something, and even when you're in the uniform, but you have like some kind of fun activity, and they just swarm. I mean, you can pick up anywhere between 5 to 15 kids that'll probably sign up right then and there. Like even when we're not trying, it's just that I don't have a way to sign them up now since everything's done like electronically. I mean, I guess it's easier, but it's not. If somehow we can figure that out, we'd get them right off the bat.
Okay.
Let me know what's going on that it's not easier. That's what they need to address because it is really looks easy. And what
We've also had,
experienced is
we've had success at the flea market, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It was
like,
scout. It was like a religious, where they wear their scout uniform to church. And well, after church, we went to the flea market, and from the flea market, we had 2 kids sign up. So, I mean, I think the uniform says a lot. And Luis, I just sent you
I saw it. I got it.
the video we showed and the picture I took at the gym with the kids. But I thought it went really well.
Another thing
Thank
that's
you.
coming up, Luis, is our Scout Sunday. I believe it's on February the 10th or the 11th, one of the other. But you know that's coming up pretty quick too. Scout Sunday, you know, and that gets a lot of exposure too when kids at your church see you in the uniform and see the troops. And OLS 68 used to do it all the time. You know, we used to come in numbers. Of course, at that same time, they're selling barbecue tickets out in front too for their fundraiser. But you know, that's another really good resource to recruit. That's how we got a lot of kids through 68 was going at the churches, you know, on Scout Sundays.
Okay. Thanks, John.
we need to address some of the other things coming up. We do. I see Dr. Margot's online now too, but let me go back to the agenda here just for a moment because it's almost 8 o'clock and we still have a little bit more to cover here. I don't see Roger. I'm not sure about training. As far as attendance, PAC 260 seems to be leading the way again tonight. And so I want to say congratulations to them. And then PAC 260. Great job. Okay, Pinewood Derby's coming up. I saw Michael Hall on. I don't know if he's still on or not. You there, Michael?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you want to address that real quick?
Yeah, sorry. I'm in Florida right now. I just got here in Florida. I just landed, so that's why I came up a little late. But yeah, I want to get on because we have a Pinewood Derby this weekend coming up. It's going to be at the Lexus dealership there off the freeway. We have quite a few people signing up already on it. I'd like to see more scouts, BSA scouts sign up. It's open for the BSA scouts too. So they could race also to the parents and leaders. So we have a lot of Cub Scouts already signed up. I'd like to see more BSA Scouts show up, and parents and leaders put the names in there too to build a card and have some fun. We're going to have food. We have a car show and lots of racing. So it should be fun. Anything like that.
I don't have anything on the Pinewood Derby coming up for the Lower Valley yet, but it's supposed to be on the next weekend, the 17th. Coming up, the 13th of April is our adult annual recognition dinner. It'll be at Camp Perry. The information was sent out to the key three. Should have the MailChimp email out tomorrow on all of that information as well. I included in the flyer for the dinner is the nomination form for the spark plug. Each unit is encouraged to nominate one person that has been a spark plug for the unit that year. I'll put it in the chat also. I'll share it in the chat when I finish with the screen. So that's coming up. We'll be taking nominations for the Silver Beaver. There'll be other awards that we'll be looking for a committee to review those applications as well. What else is coming up? The winter camp. I see report to state is coming up. I don't know if Molly's here. Is anybody that can address the report to state coming up on the 10th?
Yes, so
I
we
think
have
it's the 3rd. It's the 3rd.
Yeah, this coming Saturday. We have a contingent of I believe 9 youth and 3 adults going up. We've actually been selected to lead the opening prayer on the legislative floor. So very excited. Rio Grande Council is going to get some kudo points there. We've prepared all the in regards to the speech that they'll giving to the rest of the councils and the state leadership, whoever's sitting this year. So very excited. I don't know if we have any additional units going on their own, but I do know we have 9 representative, which is I think one of the highest councils. Some councils are setting 2 or 3, some are setting 5. We're setting 9. Very excited about that. So we'll get some.
It was always a fun event.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed that. Okay, so I saw Oscar on here. We heard from him. Oscar, you want to give an after report on winter camp? Or did you leave?
Sure. We ended up with almost 200 people at winter camp. Ended up with 140 scouts, almost 60 adults, a little bit close to that. We revised the camp to make it a short-term camp, 72-hour camp. It started on the 26th and ended by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock on the 29th. Actually thought by the attendance and the spirit of the camp that it went really well. It's given us some ideas of how we want to tweak it a little bit, but the short-term camp seems to work really well. The 26th was 3rd, 4th, and 5th period, full days on the 27th and 28th, and just 1st and 2nd on the 29th. But I was real pleased. I had a lot of positive comments from it, and it's a good way of building for the next year.
Great, thank you, Oscar, and thanks again for spearheading that again. And you seem to have some really great support there. Ada, how's the NYLT going?
Well, I mean, it went really good. We had some few cold nights and one really cold night, and I really liked those the wall tents. I mean, we brought back those wall tents, and we had everybody use them. I think the shocker was just that they didn't have a deck on the bottom. I think was probably what most of the kids were like, "Where's the floor?" But in my in my opinion, oh my gosh, to be in 40-degree weather in those wall tents and just need, just your sleeping bag and stuff was, and maybe if you had 2 sleeping bags, it was nice. But other than that, the trainings went well. I am hoping though that this next day 4, day 5, and day 6, that they're able to put some stuff together. And when they go to outposts, they're really able to put it all together. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to see these kids come out there and actually get shot, because we do have at least 2 patrols that are still in storming mode. So
Good. Thank you. That was great. We're going to skip right now. There's a couple of things that I would like to say and do. First, Dr. Margot's on, and he didn't get to talk at the beginning of the meeting, and we always want to get him to give his health report and how's he's doing. So go, Dr. Margot.
Hey, everybody. Hope you all are having a good night. Sorry for jumping on a little bit late. We were having a board review for some of our boys before our court of honor that we're going to have on Tuesday. And then we actually were having our leader meeting, right, our committee meeting. So technically we had 7 leaders here, Mike, hearing at least half of Roundtable, just to throw that in the tally, whoever's keeping track. From the medical standpoint, we're seeing a lot of flu, a lot of COVID still. And and some of it's more of a diarrhea kind of version. So, if your kids are happy, and I know we had a couple of kids that were going to go to NYLT that ended up not, because they were having fever and they were having some other symptoms. So 3, okay, 3, Ada's showing me. So that's, we appreciate, I know we're only doing this once a year, but by them not going and making that sacrifice of not going to NYLT, they kept 30 plus kids from getting sick, plus all the leaders. So we and their families. So we appreciate y'all doing that and being conscientious and courteous as scouts and watching out for each other, because that's really what this is about. There's always gonna be another event. There's always gonna be another jamboree. There's always gonna be another. So don't put your health at risk or anybody else's health at risk. That's not what we're after. So we really appreciate you guys coming out and wanting to participate. But please, there's a reason we have those medical forms that we ask you to fill out beforehand. It's really for everybody else's safety, not just your own. Outside of that, we had an awesome training this past week. There were at least 9 of us from the council that were up there representing the Rio Grande Council. And we drove to Austin. Mike and a couple others got to go to Buc-ee's for the first time, and they were very excited. We have photographic evidence. Mike, you can pull that up later. Pull that up. Those are great. And it was a good time. We had some fellowship. You can't spend 6 hours in the car together and not get to know each other a little bit better. So that was a lot of fun. But the training was amazing. And what this was, and in case they've already mentioned this a little bit, we basically had everybody from leadership from all the councils, basically just north of Austin in a straight line across Texas, and all of Louisiana south. Those were all the different councils that were represented from the Council Service Territory 7, which is a part that we're in. And we got to talk to the national board chair, Brad Tilden, who came on, and we were able to ask questions of him. Office there, answering questions. They talk about training, the Cub rollout that's going to be coming out soon, a little bit later this year. We also talked to the main training chair, who does all the training, including NYLT and all the online training. And they're looking at the online training stuff right now to see how we can streamline that. That was a concern that a lot of us brought up as leaders, trying to keep leaders. Again, this is a second to say thank you. We did this with our troop committee right now. Thank you for all you leaders that are on here right now for giving up an extra hour and a half just to be on the Zoom. When you could be eating supper, you could be having, with your families. We really appreciate that time. These are important, and we're trying to give out as much information as we can so that it's not a surprise that we are having activities and try to give you some ways to help motivate your troop and your unit to come to these activities. Because it's great to have all these great activities, but if nobody shows up, that doesn't help. We want to do them for you guys, and hopefully you guys all are able to participate. So we're doing some troubleshooting, some learning. We again rehashed the safety is our number one key that we're working on. They talked a lot about some of the new initiatives. Actually, our national child safety chair was there also, and we got to meet him. And they talked about some of the new initiatives. So YPT will be updated as well. That was one of the national trainings that they were talking about, and going to maybe a little bit different format. I know that we all have agreed that we're going to be doing annual YPT, and while you can watch the same video and get the same, get something out of it each time, they're trying to see what else we can do to update that a little bit better, and maybe have a main video you watch, and then each year, because national is also going to be going to a annual requirement for YPT, so we're just ahead of the curve on that. So each year they're going to be doing more of an update instead of just the same thing over and over. And so hopefully that'll be a little more informative, a little more helpful. It was very reassuring when they were talking about the national safety. Not that we want to have our goal at 0 as far as how many youth were injured or assaulted, or how many YPT issues there were last year, and I believe they said there were 8 in the whole country for 2023, which is phenomenal. We want it to be 0. The goal is to be 0, but those things are still happening. It's way safer than what people are assuming. The Netflix movie that went out, or documentary that they did. There's a lot of things on there. Even when Glenn Pounder, who is our new child safety advocate, he showed it to some of his friends that are in that business. That's what they do. They could tell right away that this was not a realistic portrayal of what circumstances are actually at in the Boy Scouts of America and Scouting BSA. However, most people out there don't know that. So Scouting is a very safe organization. We've done everything we can to make it safer, and we're continuing those efforts. So please spread that word. It's a safe organization. And the biggest thing, as Mr. Pounder reminded us, as leaders, when we're going to shake the hand of those parents that are entrusting their most prized possessions to us for the weekend, for an overnighter, for a week at camp, for 2 weeks of jamboree or film on or other high adventure, is we're going to bring them home better than they gave them to us. And we're going to bring them home safe. And we're going to bring them home happy as best we can. But again, we're going to do everything we can to protect them as if it was our own children. And that's really the promise we're making. We talked about recruiting. That's part of that too. So, we're going to do our best. We're going to continue to do our best at the council level. We know you all are going to continue to do that at the local level as well. And the national offices, again, they're showing that they're engaged in this. And so, these are all positive things. We want you guys to come away from this a little more hopeful, and a lot of good stuff on the horizon. So looking forward to another great year.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it so much, and really had fun on the trip. The Conestoga wagon, and the dirt roads and everything was just really exciting at times. Sherry, you don't get on the opportunity to speak with us very often. You want to talk about OA for a little bit?
Sure. So we had a wonderful powwow, about 300 or so folks. Like no patches, and I had 300 of them. So that's I think I got 5 left. So it was great. We were happy to see so many people out there. There were some changes to the Indian Lord Merit Badge. I don't know if any of you have looked at that. So we have some strategic planning we need to do for powwow this year, because like all of the make, show, do is gone. So it's there have been some interesting changes to the Indian Lord Merit Badge. So anyway, we'll cross that bridge a little closer to powwow time. But we had our vigil first weekend in December. Welcome to free folks. And then we had ordeal 2 weeks ago, and winter ordeal looked more like a summer ordeal. So we had lots of folks, 21 new ordeal members. I think we had like maybe 4 or 5 new brotherhoods. So we had a great turnout. We fed like close to 60 people. So it was great. It was a little nippy. I guess Dr. Margot stayed in the tent. Then he was like, no, I'm staying in the tent. So anyway, it was a little chilly, but it was really a good ordeal. So we were happy to see that kind of turnout. Actually, the lodge chief and me and 2 other folks are headed up to a Council of Chiefs meeting tomorrow. We have a meeting at Bastrop, planning for conclave. So we'll be up at Lost Pines on Saturday for a couple of hours. And then we've got our conclave coming up. That it will be at Lost Pines. And forgive me, I should know the date. I want to say it's like April 5th. Yes, April 5th through the 7th. So it's a $50 a fee. So it's going to be a fun weekend. We will be camping. But conclave is always fun. So we encourage anybody in the OA to make the trip up. And yeah, so we're doing great. Got our fellowship weekend in May, which is a brotherhood opportunity. It's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So we'll have that information out here in the next, month or 2. So
Great. Thank you,
Hey,
Sherry.
Cherie,
Appreciate it.
Cherie, I noticed, I don't know if this is gonna affect it, but the same weekend as the Wood Badge, y'all have an OA ordeal or an OA weekend also. It's the same weekend. I don't know if that's gonna affect it.
So there have been,
Just-
I think, some adjustments made, and
Okay.
Oscar can maybe talk a little more on that, but there have been some adjustments made. So
It's scheduled on the same weekend as the second weekend of the
yes,
Badge, I believe.
so like I said, I think there've been some adjustments that have been made, but it's hard to move ordeal just because, we got to strike before school starts, or, we just don't get a turnout. And
Because that's before college, right? Like they try to
Right,
catch before the
right,
college and all that.
right. So, there are a lot of factors that go into having it that weekend. And, I think maybe at some point, once, our lodge and old dining hall area, maybe, have their final, oh, I don't know what's happening exactly, but maybe once those renovations are in place or complete, maybe we could have 2 events out there like that we won't be stepping on each other's toes. But right now, with just the one dining facility, I think it would be I don't know if it would work too well. But
We did
Oscar and I have
that
been talking
before.
about it. Yeah, Oscar and I have been talking about it, and I think there have been some adjustments made on the Wood Badge end of things.
Sherry, just while I got you, April 13th is the banquet, so start working
Yes.
on what we need
Yes.
for that.
Yes, I
Okay.
saw that.
Hey, Sheree, I have a quick question for you also.
Yes, sir.
On, as far as getting rides or carpooling for the section conclave, I've got at least 3 scouts that are interested, 3 airmen that are interested in going. I really,
Okay.
really want to go, but I can't get out of work, so
I think I
I'm
think you
stuck.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is I will be getting emails as to the registrants. And then again, at your unit level, if there's an adult, if there's a mom who likes to go shopping in San Antonio or something like that, ride them up there and bring them home. If it's something like that, we usually ask, that the scouts, pitch in $20 or something for gas, to get them there and home. So again, for conclave, it ends up kind of being that kind of a thing. And again, we'll fill up the cars that we have going. Once I do know which adults will be attending. And again,
So go ahead and have them register then, have them register already.
yes, yeah, they can
Okay.
register. Registration is open. There's on Facebook, and I think our lodge has probably shared on Insta and Facebook, and then you can just search section G2 as well, and it'll pop up.
And just in case people need any more motivation to go to section conclave, it's going to basically be in the area where the solar
that's
eclipse
right.
is going to be happening.
That's
So,
right.
which
The
is
next day is the
Monday.
eclipse. That's
Yeah,
correct.
so Monday morning,
That's correct.
between 11 and 2, you're going to have 4 minutes of totality in that part of the country.
Yes.
And that's going to be really cool. The next one isn't until I think 2099, and then 11 or 2144, I think, are the next 2 eclipses that are going to be anywhere near like this one. So
Yeah, no, I won't be around to see the next one.
Hey,
so
Sherry, count me
Anyway.
in for the adult.
Huh. Pardon?
Count me in for adult one.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And you just let me know how many seats you got.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah, we gotta fill them up. Gotta get those kids up there.
I wanted to take an opportunity to show you a couple of things here. One, underneath our on our calendar, we've got a new page, and it's still in the works. But this is a list of on one sheet what's coming up. I'm in the process of making these links active to the calendar sign up. But this is and it'll change and grow as we need to. But everybody's saying they don't have a place to find what's going on, so here it is. And again, it's under calendar 2024 event list. So it's there. Coming up, one of the favorite, as a commissioner, we try to offer some things to make a little easier for you. And I wanted to show you one thing here. Oh, by the way, we've got 11 units posted right now, and 2 reposted. It looks like we gained a unit because we were at 56 a couple of days ago, total units. And we still have a few that haven't started their recharter, but we've got 32 in process. So that's exciting that that's going on, Sensei. Thank you for that. One of the things that my experience through the years of doing was an activity on historic trails in San Antonio. And it was to go to the various missions and see the aqueduct. And so this little, and they have a nice patch, but this trip to San Antonio for Hispanic trails and see the San Antonio missions, you would see 5 of them as you walk through the city and wind up at the Alamo. This was one of my favorite events, and just wanted to point out that under historic Alamo Area Council, if you just do a search for historic trails, you get the documents here and the application for the patch. And so I just wanted to say, hey, this is something that is really fun. It's a very worthwhile experience. You don't always get to go into one of the churches because someone may be having a wedding, but you do get to explore and see one of the most exciting historical locations in Texas. So if you just Alamo Area Council and search for historic trails, and that'll get you to that. And that's sponsored by the Order of the Arrow there. And just a great event. If I've been do it when it's freezing and when it's raining and whatever. You get to walk about 3 miles and go to the next one, and go walk 3 miles and go to the next. So it's not a hard one. Getting a place to stay sometimes may be fun, but McGimsey is a beautiful campsite that the council owns up there. And if you can get into that, you get to see the deer and the wildlife, as well as have a place to camp. So I just wanted to offer that to you, put that in your pocket and think about it. And offer it to the boys. John Moreno is here. I haven't said anything to him about camp conditions, but can you take a short moment and talk about the Camp Perry and Laguna Station?
Well, Laguna Station, we'll start there. We did get somebody out there to evaluate the trailer. It's not worth keeping. It's not worth hauling off. We got to kind of haul it off in pieces. He gave us a estimate. It's about $3,000 to get done. But we're going to see if we can find a contractor or one of our volunteers like Andy to do it. The J-Rose, hopefully. We're looking into that. It still needs a little TLC out there. I wish it was used more and that I could go out there more often. That's my biggest thing about getting down there. I've been stuck here in my RV for about 10 days now because my wife got COVID and I'm not inside the house. I've been kind of staying out here these last few days and for about 10 days now since I left camp the week after. I personally did not get it, but they did give me, Doc Margo should be familiar with this, the Plavix, I believe it is, and some other stuff, just to prevention. I'm just about done with that. As far as Camp Perry, we've had a couple of changes out there on a couple of things. We got all our locks to the dining hall and one key. We have a master key. We're trying to, we just had too many keys. And John, I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to John McGinnis, because he's been working very hard on that to try to get everything in order. He did get all the keys, everything keyed to one. We're even working on the technical room. We're working on the mechanical room door, a couple other doors out there where we can have one key. There you go. That's what I got. Yeah, there you go, Doc. And so
That's for the health lodge, the outside door.
Okay.
It's a new lock.
Oh, a new lock. Oh, very good. Okay. Oh, and that's the only door we actually have left, I believe. Now he's pretty much keyed everything and moved doors around, so we could lock up the gym and get that all secure. Because no one's out there. We just need to be safe. We did change the lock on the gate. I'll let Luis give you all the number. I'll pass it out to the people that are important, to this committee and to people that really need it. I made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake, but I had to give it to one of the Harlingen people from the ISD. And unfortunately, I did not know, but he went out there on Christmas Day and did some fishing and then sent me pictures of the fish. And we didn't know he was out there, and that's a liability. And I was a little upset, but, it is what it is. And I told Luis and McGinnis and Nada and a couple of people we needed to change the locks because too many people know the number like that. And, they're just access to the camp. We don't need people just to be coming in anytime, or the dad give it to a son that's 18 to go out there. I don't think that's right. We just need to be more cautious as to who goes in and out of camp at this point till we get a ranger, somebody out there permanent. So we decided to change the gate code. So if you need the gate code, you need to call Luis, and with his approval, he'll, if he tells you with his instructions to call me or Ada, and somebody that knows the number, by all means, we'll give it to you, but it's got to be approved by our scout exec to who is going to be accessed out there. That was another reason we have changed. It's like we said, a new year, a new scout exec, a new era. So we're going to move forward like that with the changes. We're trying to secure everything out there to make it more safe and protect what we have. We have a lot of valuable equipment in the camp office itself. And without anybody out there, we don't need nothing missing or gone. And we've even locked up the kitchen, even the refrigerator's locked up. We're trying to keep the control of that. We have a key for all that. The keys are in the ranger's house as of right now, until because we didn't want to leave them in the truck, the ranger's truck. So because a lot of people knew we were in there. So we're kind of keeping them in the house. We'll probably change the keys to the house eventually, get a new key for the house, because the keypad, like Doc Margot's in the medical room, is bad. So yeah, they're just not made for the outdoors. They're made for inside. And that key to the back door of the ranger's house is one of the keypads, and it's gone bad with new batteries. So we're probably going to go back to the old school locks, make one lock and, just give the key out to who needs a key. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make it out there. I plan on going. We do have a thing coming up. Ponce would like to pass out the Camp Masters t-shirts that he had made and came up with on, we're not sure yet. I haven't gotten to Luis. Luis hasn't made it confirmed yet, but April the 10th, he wants to have a luncheon to present we were trying to do it at the banquet in April, but he won't be there. So he wants to be able to present them to everybody, since he's the one that paid for them and had them made. So we're trying to do some kind of a little luncheon or something to make a little presentation for our camp masters, the ones that I have 31 people on my list. I believe that's what, Luis, if you can correct me on that, how many t-shirts we got? 30?
40 shirts.
40 shirts, that's going to be given out to certain people, our camp masters, the ones that are, obviously everybody on this screen is pretty much a camp master. We have, like I said, if you're on that email, you're one of our camp masters, then you'll probably end up getting a t-shirt to the ones that can come out. Luis and I haven't worked out the details, but it looks like it will be April the 10th on
No,
a
no.
Saturday.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
it'll be the week of February 11th. He's coming in February
I'm
11th.
sorry.
He's here for
The
5 days.
February 11th. There you go. I
Oh.
knew it was something. Yeah, I knew I had my date wrong.
John and I
I'm
will
looking
figure
at-
out the date and get it to you.
No, well, I believe we had said February the 11th or something, but it'll be a you know, a luncheon of some sort, again, appreciation luncheon that we want to have for you guys for all the hard work. You know, I had it down there, Luis, on the 11th. Actually, I was looking in April's calendar, but yeah, we just want to do something like that for the camp masters, because everybody has pulled through and have done a lot of work out there. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't get as many calls as I used to about stuff. You know, we have a lot of people that are very knowledgeable now about camp, which is great, and that I appreciate. John McGinnis, I can't say enough of what he has done. I wish he wasn't retired and younger, where he could be our ranger. But you know, we're still in that process. Hopefully, you know, real soon. Other than that, camp is looking good. I haven't been out there. Ada knows more about. She's been the one since NYLT. You know, she's the one that's been taking care of everything out there lately, and I know they have I got to kudos to them because they have up 40 tents. I saw the video, and man, that's some hard work. You know, it's going to take a lot of a mountain, also a lot of people to take them all down and put them up properly, not just throw them like we had them. And let's get it all organized. We do need a little work in our BMX to reorganize that a little bit. If we can get some help out there, so we can put those tents back in there properly. Other than that, you know, we still have our little bit of our septic tank problem where the electrical is still a little issue. I haven't been able to get Kevin out there to, he's been really busy, our electrician, but he's going to come out as soon as he can to take care of that on a Saturday. You know, because we're still needing to get that fixed. That's a priority right now on my list. Other than that, camp looks really good. You know, with a lot of wildlife out there, a lot of wildlife, I got to say. Because there's no movement, and we're inundated with javalinas, deer, nilgai. The animals are just everything. Well, I think they've even seen a puma out there twice. So because there's no movement during the week, we don't hear the beep 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 of the truck backing up like we normally would. But other than that, it looks good. You know, everything's looking good. We just got to go to Laguna and do a little TLC out there and get it back in shape. We are looking for a donation for a front gate. You know, that's really important.
Okay, thanks, John. Appreciate it. We're about 15 minutes over now. And want to say thank you to everybody. The only thing that I'll add is that our next meeting is going to be March the 7th, the same place, same channel. I did put the flyer for the banquet on the chat. So make sure you grab that before we get off, and this video will be on our Rio Grande Council our YouTube channel as well as soon as we can get that up. So thanks for being with us. I usually close with we have a close of prayer. Luis says he has one thing. So
yeah, just
Joel, prepare for prayer when Luis finishes.
Yeah, just real quick, get my scout executive minute real quick. Just give some highlights. I just want to thank everybody. As we've seen, the events are up. Every event that we've had since December are up. Numbers are up. Ordeal was up. Winter camp was up. Powwow was up. Very exciting. Our report to state's up. We got to continue that trend. Keep pushing. Program is the fun part of scouting. Getting them out of the routine, meeting. So very excited about that. Very excited for your leadership and what you guys are doing. I talked to our council president, Dr. Margot, Jake, and he agreed with me. We're going to put on some fireside chats. I want to come and listen to you as volunteers. I want to listen to your ideas. Does it mean it's going to happen? It depends. Do we have the finances? There's a lot of things to play with it, but I want to hear what you guys as volunteers are thinking. Let me know. I want to be able to for you to be heard. Okay. I want you to share your ideas. Maybe you're thinking we should do something different, and it's actually better that way. That's what these fireside chats are going to be about. We're going to do one in the Upper Valley. I've already confirmed it with Mike Hall. Thank you, Mike. I think you're still with us and you're not fighting the Gators yet out in Florida. We're doing Mid Valley and then Lower Valley. So just want to listen to you all. Listen to our volunteers. That's what I want to make sure, giving you all the service. So thank you, Doc Margot, for saying yes to that. You don't have to be at those. If you want to be there, great. If not, not a worries. I want to be able to listen. Summer camp. Gabe wanted to make sure that you all knew that summer camp is coming. June 23rd through the 29th. Registration should be up in the next few days for getting the deposit set. We have all key leadership set. A lot of those individuals are going to training, camp school training. So very excited times. And I know I've talked to Doc Margot. I know I talked to several folks. There was nothing ever written into board meeting minutes or a board approval. And Dr. Margot, if you want to cut me off, you can cut me off, but we're going to be on the Arroyo, Colorado this summer. We are going to be on the Arroyo, Colorado this summer. Okay. We're going to get our canoes out there. We're going to get them wet. We need to be there. So Doc Margot, I hope I didn't, but just wanted to share that. Let's
All
see.
part of the plan, right?
Yeah, all part of the plan. We do. I want to thank the Order of the Arrow. Order of the Arrow, the executive committee of the Order of the Arrow approved for a POS system for our trading post. We'll be able to take credit cards at our trading post now. So I'm trying to find the right software. I think I can use the same software that we have in our council office to make it even cheaper. So we don't have to do anything. May just have to get a couple of things. So
Good.
I'm working on all that on the back end. So Cherie and leadership, thank you. Thank you for saying yes to that. Did you guys like the basketball with the Vipers? We're working right now. I want to thank Christina Hicks out of Mission Pack 84. She has been very vital. We are about to set another one, UTRGV baseball. Current date right now. It's not, you can pencil it in because it's not permanent yet. April 27th, right after Camporee weekend. Fun scout night, be able to get on the field, have a great time with the family, discounted tickets. Very excited to be able to do that. So thank you to Ms. Hicks if she's not on with us. And then I wanted to share with you, last but not least, make sure you're logging your service hours. If you haven't logged your service hours, log them. Every time you do a service project, go onto the system. Mike might be able to have it. Patricia, log those service hours. Do you know how many service hours we had last year in 2023? We had 117,800 and wait, 11,000, excuse me, 11,000, not 100. Wait, my numbers might be wrong. Jake, help me out here. Was it 117 or 11,000? I'm trying to
I think
blank.
it was 117.
Okay, 117,800. Let me check the math real quick because I think that's what it was.
Yeah, because Dr. Phillips put that out. He actually wrote a little.
I think it was 11,000 because the other one was a little too much on the math. So
Okay.
It's 11,783 hours of community service. I know we did more than that. I know as a council we did more than that. So we need to make sure we highlight those. And you want to know why we highlight those? Because then we can go back to our school districts, our community members, our donors, and tell them we as an organization provided 11,783 hours. That is equivalent to $330,000 worth of monetary value.
Mhm.
Thank you all. That's a lot. As an organization that's founded on giving back to our communities, we're going to share that number. We put a PSA together so we can send out to all the media so they can know, hey, Scouts equivalent to $330,000 that they gave back through service. Cool. So exciting times. And then if you go by the Scout office, just bear with us. Ruby, if you give her a pat on the back, take her a Snickers bar, take her something. God bless Ruby, because without Ruby, our council would be in a little more of a hurt. I'm learning how to insert applications, and I thought it was pretty easy. I was like, yeah, piece of cake, not a problem. There's so much to it. There's so much to add an application, new unit, this and that. And then between that and getting calls, and then between, helping the trading post, we're doing a better job of answering calls. I have everything forwarded to my cell phone. I shouldn't have done that, but you know what? I want to make sure that I answer the phone for you. I may not answer all the time, but I'll call you back. So very excited about this, guys. Very excited about this. I'm here to support you all. I'm here. You all, are what makes the program. I'm just on the business end trying to make sure that financially, as a council, we're staying financially sound. We're making sure that we financially continue to support our camp. And then you guys are the ones that make the magic happen. And that's why I asked for when your meetings are, because that's stuff that always grounds me. When I am able to go and see a meeting, talk to the youth, that's what puts everything that I do into perspective. The long hours, the early mornings, the time away from my family, that's what makes me excited to be a part of this organization. So that's all I have. Mike, I'll let you end on a prayer. Is there any questions for me before I turn it over to Mike?
I want to say one thing. Mike was talking about the historic trails in San Antonio. Some of you, I know Mike, Henry, you probably remember, we have a Valley Historic Trails Award too.
It needs to be reworked on. I'm working on revising it.
Okay, because one of my adults
Palo
did a
Alto,
badge
Fort
ticket.
Brown.
And so like we did it on the island and in Port Isabel. Let me tell you, there's so much history, even in our little town here of PI and on the island. So it was just a really great way. Again, I can't say enough about it. It was super great. So yes, I hope we can bring that back. Wood badge ticket, anybody? Maybe? Anyway, it was great. It was really great.
Let's put it back together, Cherie. Let's like just sketch it and then we'll give it to a wood badger.
I'll send you what I've got. I've already been working on it.
Yeah, and we have everything. I had her put it all in a folder, and we've got everything, even the routes and the heights and everything that we did. And we camped out and went to the. Anyway, it was fun. It was really fun. We had a good time. So
We
it's
go
a
all
neat,
the way to
neat
Roma.
award. Neat award.
I don't want to go to Roma.
Yeah,
But-
you do. Got to see
Well,
the black bean source.
The black bean. Yeah. Well, good speech, Luis. I think I got my medicine right there, man. I like that.
Okay.
Pumped.
Thanks, guys. Joel, you want to address our attention to the Lord?
Let's take our thoughts to the Lord here as we leave. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for allowing us to get together. Lord, we are your arm, Lord, down here on earth, Lord, and leading our scouts towards you, Lord, and to keep ourselves reverent. We have many things that we have planned to do. We have things that we have done. We thank you, Lord, for each and everything that you've helped us with, and we ask you for help for planning our future events in your name. So be with each and every one of us as we go to our homes and be with our families, Lord, and come back refreshed and ready to go. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. See you next month. Before.
And adventures at Buc-ee's.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye. Thanks,
Good evening.
Jake.
Good night.
Dr. Jake.
Well, where's my Buc-ee's cup?